We wait for another 5 more minutes. Let our friends come in. Lepas tu kita start, we will start. Alright, guys. Alright, boleh nampak tak? Can you see my slide or not? Alright, okay. Okay, I'm in Dubai right now. So, weather is so shining today. Very beautiful day. I'm in Oasis. How is everybody? Okay semua? When are we going to have our test? 1 hour test? When? Next week? At night? Or anytime? Okay tak? Boleh? Can we do that? Semua senyap. Bila test dia semua senyap.
Doktor test chapter berapa sampai?
I haven't decided yet. Okay, because I just finished setting up your final exam. Yes, last night we have a vetting session with other lecturers in our panel. So the test is quite simple lah. It's very simple, and most probably going to be like one case study where you're going to, based on that case study, and you have to answer the question lah. And for the final, basically we have two case study, a very short case study. It's a very simple one. Okay, and then you've been test basically from both perspective. One is when you are the entrepreneur, and another one when you are the venture capitalist or funder. Okay, so you will basically you have to think who you are when you answer that question. So there's a guideline, there's an answer scheme, but that one is for faculties requirement. But in reality, I will look into the creativity, okay, and the way that you discuss, the way that you give reasons. That will be the most important for me. There will be two parts since we are going to do our exam online. I think you have already the experience of having online exam where they're going to have like two parts. Okay, we couldn't afford, oh no, we could not to have like 3 hours straight exam. So basically it's going to be like 1.5 hours. The total marks for your final will be 40. You have already done two assignments, which each assignment carry out 20%, and you will have another test. It's also going to be 20%, so 60 plus your final 40 will be 100. Okay. So the modus operandi, how to go about with the exam. I actually, to be frank, this is my first time I'm having final exam online final exam. I come to understand that I will post my final question in e-learning, and half an hour before the exam commence, you can view, and then when you finish, you'll be given like 30 minutes, half an hour, to upload your answer script to the e-learning, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's gonna be it will be you are required to switch on your videos during the final exam. So I guess on that particular day, maybe you have to make sure that you have sufficient data, even during the final week as well. If you don't have, I don't know, maybe you can contact the faculty, and then telling them your problems, your issues, and maybe they will work out something, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so as far as we been told, you have to switch on your video for the whole exam period. So don't worry, your answers, there will be none from the slide. It's basically from your understanding. It's more on the discussion, argument, justification. Okay, so you might need to have the point, yes. Okay, but then when it comes to the discussion, that is the most important. Okay, so we have another two more course. Okay, topic to cover, and after that we will finish, and then we have our exam. So I know we'll try to finish up by today if possible, so you get plenty of time. You can you can save your data for your final, and also for your exam. Then and that's it. Okay, so do you have any question at the moment? Any of you guys? Today our class until what time? Until 10, is it?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So okay guys, the next topic is basically about the IP valuation. Okay, it is when you're going to use your IP, okay, to make more money, to set up a business. So every IP needs to be registered, okay, and then it's basically that's where we come in. We want to value that IP. Okay, if you have someone came to you asking for money to set up a company. Okay, we will look at the IP first. Okay, what kind of IP that you have? By saying IP means that you have a product already. Okay, so we want to value the IP first, and see whether it is interesting enough for us to spend money on this particular ventures. Okay, so basically IP valuation is meant for example mergers, M&A, mergers and acquisition, maybe a joint venture, or even for bankruptcy, meaning to say when we want to liquidate and you have problems with the companies, okay, we can value the IP, okay, and compensate, we can pay you back. Okay, it's a negotiation to sell or license intellectual property, right? And this is what happened in UTM. Basically, a lot of our lecturers who have an IP, and when they have a choice where either they want to set up a company, meaning continue with the product development, set up a company, and then start a business, or to avoid all the headache, okay, they can just simply licensing the IP. And most of the lecturers, okay, most of the scientists, most of the startup companies in UTM basically go for not those startup companies, but many research, many product, okay, which has been they have IP already. They go for licensing because it's much more easier. So you will just receive a certain amount, certain percentage. Sometimes they call it as royalty for someone else, other maybe your partners or maybe people from the industry, sell your IP, and then you get some profit. It's like a passive income. Okay. Support in incident of conflict such as court proceeding. Okay, this is when you go for bankruptcy, or maybe you want to dissolve the business. So the IP, you need to be valued. Okay, if let's say the IP worth 1 million, then each of you of your partners will be the amount of money will be divided accordingly to all your members. Okay. Fundraising. Okay, fundraising through bank loans or venture capital. This is another. I mean, this is a new thing. Okay, it's a new thing that financial institution. Okay, when I say financial institution, it means that every entity which have some businesses in finance, okay, not only bank, they buy your no, they don't buy, they take your IP as a collateral. Okay, um you see, there are, and we have some evidence that companies, like for example, let's say myself, okay, I have an IP, all right, and I need money. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I will go to the bank or any financial institution, show them the IP. Okay, in returns they will give me a certain amount of money that I require for me to do another business. But the IP is basically will be like a collateral. Yeah? It will hold by the banks. Okay? So if anything happened, meaning if I didn't pay back, I didn't service my loan, then they will take the IP. Okay, but we have, I mean, the one that is being doing right now is not a bank. Okay, to be frank, it's not a bank. It's like an agency. It's like a It's like venture capital company. Okay, because of they in banks. Okay, they don't have expert doing IP valuation because IP valuation is totally different from one product to another. That's why they have an IP. Okay, if all same, then it's not an IP. Basically, you can just simply, licensing or whatsoever. But then when you have a novel, it's something which is different or there's none in the market, so you need to be IP. So when you do the valuation, it will be totally different. Okay, each and every product they have their own characteristic, they have their, but then the method of doing the valuation will be the same. But then the type of information that you will need, okay, the type of other information about that product, also about the market, is going to be different. Okay, so bank, they will use that as a collateral in order for us to raise our capital. So this is a new thing, when it comes to. But to be frank, in banking system, banking industry in Malaysia, they don't have anyone expert in terms of doing the IP valuation. Okay, so if you really go and study about this thing or involved with this thing, you can make money actually, because of you are basically doing because the the market is very limited. Okay, assisting internal decision making. Okay, meaning just like we want to know how much, and then we can, divide or whatever, we can get some royalty from it, how much money that we're going to get. And also for accounting and taxation purposes. Okay, for, so basically, in Malaysia that was not the case, but in other countries, okay, those who have IP, okay, they will get some tax exemption, something. All right. Okay, so basically, IP valuation, there are two types actually. Okay, two categories. I can say two categories. One is quantitative, another one is qualitative. Okay, quantitative, and another one is qualitative. So the qualitative, they have three types of method. Okay, they have three types. One is market based, cost based, and also income based. And the last one will be the qualitative. So the market base is basically the estimation of IP value based on similar market transformation comparable intellectual property right. Okay, the comparison might be based on the term technologies. So basically what we are doing is using a market based method is that we try to find some product in the market already which is quite similar with the one that you have. Maybe you have some extra features or extra um something else, something new, it's like an extension from the one that we have in the market. Okay, so is the advantage is quite simple because basically when you know that product in the market, then you can roughly. So it's only like if it's a valuation, more like market base is more like a prediction. It's not exact. Okay, because of because of disadvantage is that the uniqueness of IP makes it difficult to make a comparison. Okay, so it's very unique. Okay, what we're trying to do is that we try to find something which is similar. Okay, similar with the one that we have in the market. Okay, um accuracy, yes, they say that is quite accurate because of it's quite close. Okay, the features, the criteria, the characteristic of the product, and so on and so forth. Okay, but then for the disadvantage is the one that I told you just now, the uniqueness of IP. They are totally different actually. Okay, so it's quite difficult for you to find. And for example, imagine when first time Apple introduced the cloud, for example. Okay, not many people know about it. There's nothing in the market similar with that thing. So it's very difficult for you to find anything which is quite similar with the one that been produced by Apple. The tendency to undervalue or overvalue is possible because of you don't have well, actually, I have an experience on this. Okay, previously we've been appointed by one company to do the IP valuation of one product. It's something got to do with that product is basically something got to do with electric cars. Is the what they call as the charger, AC charger, electric car, something. So but the one that they have is basically they have some extra features. But when we ask for the cost of producing that thing, I don't know what happened with that company. Again, they appointed us to do the valuation, to prepare the business plan, and what kind of business model that they're going to use. But they kind of like a very secretive when it comes to the costing, of producing that thing. So what we did is basically because if we don't know the cost of producing, okay, so we can use a market valuation, market based method. We try use the market based method, and basically the product is already in the market, but then the one that they have, like I said, they have some extra features. They link with the cloud, and they have a monitor and something like that. Some extra thing, as far as can, but this is quite some times ago. And then when we start pestering the company, we want to know the cost. If we don't know the cost, then how we want to put the price, right? Pricing is going to be very difficult because it might overvalue or might undervalue the product. So then they come up with the cost. Okay, I don't know how. That's the reason why all these companies, of course, yes, they have a product, but then they don't know how to do business. They don't know what needs to be done. Okay, any business information that they require require in terms of to do the forecasting, for example. When they come up with the cost, and the cost is actually is, I can say, is really unreal. Okay, the costing that he proposed, he told us is about close to 2,000 ringgit. So when we check this kind of product, okay, this kind of product in Amazon from US, when you convert the money, it is a selling price. We don't talk about the costing, the cost of producing that product. The price is only about 500 ringgit, 500 to 700 ringgit. Okay, but this guy said that cost is the cost itself is about close to 2,000. So if you want to sell, you have to make at least a margin of 30%. Okay, so you will put like a 3,000 ringgit. But the one that we have, I mean, this particular product has in the market, it was only cost about 700 ringgit. Okay, so this is what we don't want. This is a classic case of the overvalue or undervalue. So imagine if you don't do any research on the product. Okay, we put the price of this thing like 3,000 ringgit. Okay, definitely for sure nobody will buy. Like and then quite there's quite other thing as well, that we at the end of the day we make a report saying that this product is not viable. Okay, because of you got to know how many electric cars in the world, especially in Johor, in Malaysia, for example. And then the station itself, okay, they have problems when it comes to, let's say you're from JB, you're going to KL, okay, along the way, you need to recharge your batteries, you need to recharge your cars. There's no station along the highway. So what will happen? That kind of thing. So those are the things that we have to take into consideration. And then they said that they want to propose this to all these hotels, for example, shopping complexes, even hospitals. Okay, but the hotel says that why is it they have to pay this amount of money for the installation, whereby they can use that money to buy more beds, to prepare more rooms, and to employ more workers, that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, we did not, we, our result is that is not a go, and that business is not a go. So there's quite a lot of information that need to be inculcated in our business plan, in our project. The second one is the cost base. So the first one is the market. So you're looking at the similarity of any other product. Okay, and then from there you pick up the cost, and then you try to blend all the information, and then you come up with the one value. Okay. The second one is the cost base. Looking at the name itself, you understand. Okay, we look at the cost. How much the cost incurred during the development, the R&D and business development. So it's quite good. It's quite easy. Okay, because it's visible in the company's financial statement, how much money you get, how much money you spend, okay, what product that you buy, how many people, manpower you put in. Okay, we calculate all those costs, and then from there we mark up, okay, the price, the value of the product. Simple by referring to the accounting sheet. Okay, there's no direct correlation between the cost of development with future potential return, meaning that they did not, this cost base did not include the time value of money principle in the calculation. Okay, so if you produce, like for example, a product takes about 2 years. Okay, starting from the first day until at the end of the second year, the cost from the first day will be different. The value will be different because we are talking about time value here. Okay, so they did not include that thing in the calculation. Okay? Better if you can do that, because then only you know, okay, how much is the real cost of that product. Right? If you use this product, the raw material 2 years before, okay, the value will not be the same. This is what I try to say. Okay, so difficult to deduct research cost from the development cost. Yeah, we have a research cost, R&D, okay, and then we have a development cost, right? So take a good example in UTM, in universities. When the scientists or the lecturers or the professors, they start doing research. There's one research, let's say for example, they produce a one product, okay, using R&D, during their R&D, using government grants. That means they have zero cost there. But still, even though they receive grants from the government, we have to know how many manpower, which we have to calculate all those things, right? The utilities, the time they put in developing this product, everything need to be calculated. So it's very difficult, okay, to get the exact R&D cost, the research cost. But when it comes to the development or the business development, we have another problems. Yeah, all the materials, the time, the location, the amount of money that you're going to put, and we have to include also, we have to use the discounted system, okay, in order for us to calculate and everything. So I can say that IP valuation is very uh, not to say strict, but then it's a bit complicated doing the valuation. So that's why not many people are able to do that. Okay, and the last one is, we call it as the income-based method. So now income-based method means that if you have done everything, okay, you have the product already, okay, and then you doing some forecasting, okay, how much cash flow that you're going to get from this product. Okay, so they're going to use the net value calculation, discounted cash flow, using time value money, which is okay. Predicted the cash flow and discounting to the present value. So this is normally what people do. How much money can you produce, can we get from this product? Then we discounted it because of the time value of money, because of the time. So from there, we get the total amount of cash flow that we think that this product can produce. Then this is where we're going to put the value of the IP. Okay. So using income based, meaning you have the product, okay, you sell that product, okay, then whatever amount of money, that's the one that we're going to use as our information in terms of in getting the value of the IP. So advantages is that it takes consideration the present value calculation, the time value of money. Easier to make the forecast based on the financial statement of the company, how much can, okay, what will be the market. So we're looking at the China M60 kind of valuation, yeah? Looking at who is going to be the market, what is the percentage of market that you're going to control, okay, who's your market, where is going to be, where you're going to sell this product, what is your potential customer, who is your big gun, you know, what will be your killer features and things like that. So we have to get all this information. So it can be done using the income base. Simple thing that we're going to do is actually you have done it already. We are using the net present value. Net present value when you do valuation on bonds, stocks, for example, the capital budgeting. Okay, you want whether you want to invest in this particular project or not. Okay, how much money they're going to make? What will be the cash inflow? What will be the cash outflow? The cash outflow, basically, we're going to use the cost-based method. Okay, we need to know how much is the cost, and then after that, the amount of money that that we generate from this sales, from the sales from this product, that's the one they're going to use the present value calculation. Okay? But then we add up everything, then we get a number. Disadvantage is cash flow prediction, like I said, and discount rate might inaccurately estimate. So basically, this is it's more like a forecast, right? So we don't have a surety that this product will be take up by the market. Then how much are people willing to pay? You know, that kind of thing. So basically, you are doing forecasting. So it's not a real thing. When it comes to costing, fine. Okay, I think maybe we can get, if we know that this product can be commercialized, is sellable, then from the beginning you already record all the costing, what costs associated with the development of this product. That's fine. But when it comes to the futures prediction, okay, whether your product is sellable, people can take up the product, there's a potential customers, that is very difficult. That is surely is a gamble thing. Nobody can predict the future. Okay, right? And you have to also think about if your product got something to do with the countries, for example. um like for example, right now, what we are having right now, people, you know, our economy is not as good as like before. So what will happen? So you do the prediction, fine, and let's say your prediction, you've done the prediction, okay, the value of this IP is about 1 million. You pay the 1 million already, but the business is not going to work, because of the external factors, disruption, from what we are having right now, for example. It is not suitable in high risk sector because the income is inconsistent. Okay, I think we will get the point already. The influence of economic condition, yes, like I said, okay, we have what we call as systemic risk, which everybody is affected. Okay, so those are the things that we have to take into consideration. And those are the things that we have in terms of advantage and disadvantage for this income-based method. The last one is basically the qualitative method. Okay, this qualitative method, quality, just now is quantitative. This one is qualitative. So we do not rely on analytical data, right? And this is much. I mean, the best IP valuation that if you want to do is that it should be combined for quantitative and also qualitative. And commonly referred as evaluation does not rely on analytical data. Is performed through the analysis of different indicators with the purpose of rating the intention. For example, determining its importance, the product, the branding, even the casing itself. Okay, we have one researcher in UTM, a professor. Her name is NASA, if I'm not mistaken. It's a short form for Nur Aisyah Saidina Amin. Yes. So people call him, people call her Prof. NASA. Basically, she produced air purifier, okay, using a plasma technology. But when it comes to the casing itself, it's not really interesting, and it's because of that, it's been turned down by MTDC previously. Okay, so they need to know they by looking at it also you have, so basically it's using your six senses. Okay, when it comes to the numbering, okay, fine, we go with quantitative. But when it comes to quality, you have to taste, look, feel, um, and look at the market. What is the demand right now? The current trend, the trending, branding, and all those things. This is what I think we can also use the soft evaluation, intangible valuation aspect in terms of when it comes to doing the valuation. Okay. The legal aspect, technology level of the innovation, market details, company is very subjective. So, but it's quite interesting because this is where you can see the difference, the novel of certain product compared to another. When it comes to numbers, yes, number is just a number. Okay, how much it costs, how much you're gonna make. Okay, how much is the selling price? What will be your break even point? What will be your ROI? When are you going to get back? I mean, so those are numbers. But when it comes to qualitative, it's basically using your sixth sense. You look at the product, okay, whether it's easy to use. Those are the things that the evaluators will do a lot of things. So it will cost a lot actually. Okay, that's why it's not just about market analysis. It's more than that. So if you apply for CRDF, for example, from the MTDC and commercialization of research and development fund, CRDF, the maximum that they will give you is 4 million. The whole what call it grant is 4 million. But the first one that they're going to do is that they will send your product for market analysis. They will pay someone. Okay, that someone is basically going to do the valuation first, right? And this is what they're going to do. And they want to see whether it's marketable or not. Then if it's okay, then they will start giving money for your maybe to finish up. And it depends on the stage of stage of development. If let's say you have already the product is there already, it's just matter of fine tuning the casing, the features and everything. So the amount of money will be different. It depends on the stage of development. And so that's why I say it's very, very subjective. Okay. So this is the summary of we have another one option based, okay, but it's very complex. Okay. Here we have three. I explained to you three. Okay. The option based is basically um, they start doing the valuation of an asset in the early stage of development. Okay, and technically it's going to be, like I said, it's much more deeper analysis. So taking into consideration all these uncertainties of potential cash flows. So it's very, very complicated. It's very complicated because you start from the beginning and you have bear in mind. But most of these researchers, when they do a research, not many. That's I can say from my PhD thesis that many of them, when they do a research, they don't look at the market demand. Okay, and then sometimes some of them they may look at this, might have some ideas of what they want to do, but then it will take time. Okay, by that time we are racing against the time. Okay, we are talking about doing the R&D here. Right? So it's not going to be like everyday sunshine. Sometimes you couldn't get the what do you call it the result, for example. So it will take time. But all this course, you recorded everything. Okay? You keep track everything. But by the time you produce the product development is completed, maybe it's already obsolete in the market. Maybe we're not going to use that one anymore. Maybe some other innovation comes in and propose a new method of doing things and things like that, blah blah blah. So your product is basically not worth it. I can say not worth it. But in UTM, we are very lucky because of the university. They want to go with numbers, so they don't care whether the product, the IP, can be commercialized or not. Okay, as long as there's a number there, and the number hopefully is increasing. Which is for me, I did mention in my thesis that this is not a right thing to do. It's not about numbering. It's about how you can generate financial reward from your IP. So the one that we have is basically a lot of them are gathering dust. They are put in the very beautiful case, view cupboard, glass cupboard, with lights and everything. But then, nothing we can get from that particular product. And on top of that, we have to pay the IP every year. So it's a cost to the university. So this is what happened when the mentality of that's the reason why I did my research. I want to see why is it, the number of startup companies are very low, still low, and especially in UTM, because we like what it's already like 30 over years, and we are a technology university. So from there we find out that quite number of factors that contribute to the low number of spin-off companies, the bureaucracy, and then in fact, the university itself is not very, I can say it's not very keen when it comes to commercialization. Okay. You see, my okay, the reason for me to make such a bold statement, saying that UTM is not very keen, okay, in persuading for their staff to become technical entrepreneur, or even the student, for example. Because of, I'm looking from the qualitative. I'm my PhD is in qualitative. I didn't use quantitative because I hate numbers. So if you can see that when you enter university, my argument is quite simple. Okay, and then I did mention this to one of the deputy vice chancellor previously. When you enter UTM, what do you see? There's a lot of indicators saying that we are not a commercialized university, research commercialization university. We are research university. Okay, so there's a big difference there. I give you one question. Okay, I ask you one question. If you enter UTM, what can you see from Taman U? What can you see as you pass the guard house? What can you see? What do we have? Anyone? Anyone? As you enter university and as you enter UTM, what did you see? Hazel?
Buildings,
Okay, what kind of building do you see?
other college, and then
Oh, okay, no. Masuk,
yeah,
when you pass the guard house from Taman U, right? When you pass the guard house, what do you see? What do we have? Yang lain? Hani, Iqbal, Yuman.
Taman Rusa.
Taman Rusa on your right side, correct? What else? Lake, pejabat, lake belah kanan, pejabat depan. On the left side, did you notice not? What building on the left side as you pass through the guard house? Bangunan apa tu?
That one is Hema. Is it? Oh, Chancellor.
No, that one if you go straight, Hazel.
Oh.
F54, yes. Someone told this. Christopher, yes. F54. What building is that? It's for what? It's a research management center. Then, betul? Correct not? So bila you masuk guard on your left side, you tunjuk you punya research management center. So kita punya commercialization center, where is our commercialization center?
Outside UTM.
Yeah. Where is it? Near Taman U, right? In
Pernah
television.
pergi.
Yes. Pernah pergi kan? Okay.
Mhm.
ICC. They call it ICC. Dulu BIP, Biro Inovasi dan Perundingan. Now they call it as ICC. Stand for apa What I can't remember lah. Commercialization and Consultation Institute of no, it's not an institute. Something. Oh my god, I don't know. But basically that one is quite far from here. So what the locality of that building indicates what? So you want to do research, right? These are the things that you have to learn. Okay, why? You have to give reason so that these people understand. Okay, the way that I see is that, let's say you have a very good, you have someone give you a present which is very expensive, really nice, where are you going to put that present in your house? Okay, I give you some clues, I give you some tips. Okay, you can put in your hall, you can put that in your toilet, or you can put it in your bedroom, or you can put in your kitchen. Where are you going to put that special present? It is in your house. Nak tahu kat mana? Selalunya orang akan tahu mana? Hall. Yes, people will put at hall. But why? Because I want to show off that thing. Right? I want to show to my guests, okay, see, this is the present I received. Maybe you receive a trophy, for example, like Grammy award or something. So you want to put in hall, in front of your house, so that people can see, people can appreciate all those things. So what do UTM appreciate? They put RMC in the main entrance, meaning they appreciate more. They see research management center. Research is much more important. What about commercialization? Oh yes, we have. But where is it? Like 10 minutes drive, 15 minutes drive from UTM. And it was not in the campus itself. It shows what? Yeah, we have. But then it's okay. We can just put it anywhere as long as we have. If you ask them, oh yes, we have. Where about? Quite far. It means what? It's not really important for you. So that's the reason why I told the deputy vice chancellor, you won't, the commercialization activities. Okay, Hazel, you've been to ICC before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What can you describe to your friends and me when you go there? Anyone, is there any other friends been to ICC before? Ada tak? Sorry? Not yet, okay. But Hazel have, she went already.
Pernah.
Pernah Iqbal. Okay. What can you say? Apa yang you boleh cakap when you go to the ICC area?
Parking.
I can't hear you well. Apa dia Iqbal? Apa yang you boleh, what can you describe about that place?
I think it's quite complicated because when we arrive there, the driver also don't know where is the entrance.
Okay.
And then when we go in,
Mm-hmm.
The building is like yellow, is it?
Like what?
It's a yellow color.
Okay.
Mm.
The environment,
The
the the
environment.
the surrounding area.
And we go in and there's no one inside actually. And then we look around and then there's some machine and then pattern display on the board and then uh, what new invention, then you can look around. But there's no many stuff inside.
If you read my PhD thesis, I specifically write ICC is a ghost town.
Yeah.
Correct or not?
Yes.
Nothing to be proud of. It's just if you kill someone, if you kill, you can get away with it. If you kill someone, you put in ICC, you can get away with it. Nobody's know there. Nobody go there. There's no one there. It's a totally like a ghost town. If you go further down, there's a MPC incubator. Also the same thing. So it seems that what can you say about that thing? It's just a matter of oh yes we have, but whether it survive, it's you know um it, it's performing, progressing. We don't care because nobody care. Not many people know ICC. To be frank, not many people went there actually. So look at USM, University Science Malaysia. If you go in, okay, at the front gate on the left side, there's a building. That building is basically their commercialization arm, just like ICC. And you know why? Because they think that commercialization is much more important compared to any. Okay, fine. You need to have research. But we have been doing research for quite some time. Betul tak? Correct or not? Now, where is the product? I think this is about the time for us to commercialize, to do business, to create jobs, for example. USM, that's why they are apex university. There are a lot of commercialization activities happen in USM. There's a lot of startup companies set up in USM. Why? Because they said that commercialization is very important. So that's why. That's why UTM, I told them, you need to do a lot of things, okay? Give them some boost or whatever in order for you to expedite these activities to make sure that startup companies, okay, it should be that all those things should be in the university, in the campus, to show people that oh we have this kind of product. So like new lecturers, new scientists, when they see that thing, is that kind of like a motivation for them. Okay, so because they now they are doing research. A lot of researchers, through my research, a lot of researchers they are all product oriented. They are not market oriented. Meaning they just simply uh, do research, okay, based on their interests. Okay, they did not know what happened, what is demand from the market. And there's one guy lectures from UTEM, University Technical Melaka. Uh, when I did the interview, and he was quite active. He's an active researcher, researching on unmanned unmanned vehicles. You know, like a drone. This was like 2008. He's putting like something like a drone. So he secured a number of government grant, and then he bought this helicopter, remote helicopter, very big. Something got to do with his research and everything. And so technically, it's something like a drone. And then when I asked him who will be your potential customer, and he said that it's going to be the military. Okay, military will buy all this thing. All right. When he said that, okay, I automatically flashback. I've watched um, a combat movie. Okay, where they use all this thing. That means why does this guy do a research on this whereby that product is already in the market? So it shows to me that this guy doesn't know what the market wants. Okay, he doesn't know what is the trend right now. I don't know how why these people, and yet these people, okay, that's why I'm not really like keep on condemning this technical engineering stuff, because of basically they're just like one MDB, simply take public's money, spend doing research, we have nothing to do, we won't get anything, okay, just for their own satisfaction, just like YOLO. Man, like all these people, as what they claim to be, nothing get back to us. They are, except that their amount is much more smaller. They always get grant from the government, but then at the end of the day, it's much more better if you take that grant and then give it to the poor NED B40 student, or maybe pay all the tuition fee. Is much more better than giving all these people that kind of money. Unless if the university, okay, the vice chancellor, for example, or the dean emphasize that all the staff need to commercialize their product. And it happens before in UTEM as well. Also, in UTEM, the dean turned the faculty into a factory, meaning they're producing something. They did that in another faculty. The dean used his power, authority. They say it's compulsory for all the lecturers who have received budget, received grant, they have to produce, and the production line is in the faculty, that kind of thing. So there's quite a number of invention product, and then they will only get grant who are really wants to do the commercialization activities. Okay, so those are the things. All right. Building design 2 square, many models, susah nak cari, belum. Yes, it's true. And then kalau you tengok, if you go straight, when you pass the guardhouse and you pass the deer farm on the right, RMC on the left, you go straight, then there's kita punya, what call it, apa, our gerbang, our arc there. Then we go straight, naik bukit, it's a bit, there's a hill there, okay. There you can see a mosque, the DSI, and on the right side is the Chancellery building. Okay, it shows what? It shows power distance. During medieval time, when the king and queens, there's a king and queens during the medieval time, during this, what do you call it, Professor Susatri.
Professor Susah.
Yeah, Professor Madya, bukan Madya Professor. Professor Madya, Professor Susah nak cari. Oh, they are very busy people. Okay, they are very busy
Madya.
people. So during the medieval time, when they build a castle, they will build on top of a hill. Betul tak? To show I have the power. Same goes here. You perasan tak kita naik, you notice not? We are climbing the hill. We want to go to the mosque, to the library, to the DSI, and also Chancellery. So Chancellery is where the NC office is there, VC office, and all those big shot. Okay, so it shows that we have the power. So you have to follow us. So we will follow them. If they ask us to do this, we are quite flexible actually. But that was not the case. During Dato Zaini, okay, he encouraged people to go for IP filing. Okay, if you go for IP filing, you will get 1,000 ringgit. It's just like a token. Okay, so you know what happened? IP filing, before he becomes the vice chancellor, the IP filing for a year is around not even 100. But when he announced that incentive, okay, if you go for IP filing, we will give you 1,000. The number shoot off to 300%. More, almost 400%. That year, we have about 394 IP filing. I showed this to my supervisor, and my supervisor was like, How did he do? What does he done? I want to tell this to our Vice Chancellor. Because from 100, not even 100, we shoot off until almost 400 IP filing because of the incentive. It means that if the Vice Chancellor say, thou should do commercialization, then we will do the commercialization. Thou you should do research, we'll do the research. Thou should relax only, we will relax. Itu je. Understand tak? So the power distance is there. Power distance. Alright, okay. So any question? Kita punya sampai pukul 10 kan? Okay, kita then wait. Alright, kita continue dengan last. Finish then kita boleh ni lah. Alright. Right. Talking about profit and harvest, our cashing out, the exit mechanism. Okay. So you have done this, you have already get your money, you have done doing your business. At a certain point, you must fly. Okay. So this topic basically talks about few examples, some info on what do venture capitalists, the investors, looking for. And to be frank, when they start giving you the financing, they have already think about what is going to be at the end of the business cycle. So are you going, how can we make money? What they call it as harvest. Okay. So that's why one of the example is we have this ACE market. Is the avenue for high-tech company to get to raise their capital, okay, from the capital market. So ACE market is basically another type of harvest, okay, which means that you go for IPO lah. You go for IPO, initial public offering. So when you go for this IPO, that means your business is very successful. The definition of successful is the best definition of successful business ventures among venture capitalists is that when the company go for IPO, it means that you can now walk on your own. You can raise your own capital by issuing more stocks, whatever. So you're on your own. So that's when we think we will get back our money, the ROI and everything. Okay. So this topic basically talk about this thing, profit and harvest. So basically we have a couple of models for profit. So the first one. So the reason for me to tell this is that in your final exam, if there is a question, what would be the best exit mechanism, the harvest activities, the best for this particular business, then you have to discuss about all these things. Okay. How can they make money? Okay, this revenue model, how do we have to think about this thing because we want to make sure that we will get our money back. As a venture capitalist, that is the most important. Or investor for that matter. I just want to know, I just want my money back. That's it. So how are you going to go about? So maybe we can tell the business, the entrepreneur, you might want to try this kind of revenue model, this kind of, ways of making money, just to make sure that you will get your money back. That's what there's a dilemma among the entrepreneur, the technical entrepreneur, that they are not very, they don't like this because of someone's already in your hand is in their company, the one that they have been set up, start from scratch and everything. So but we as an investor, we have to say something. The reason is that it's not like we are not busybody type of person. We just need making sure that we will get our money back. Okay, so the revenue model basically we can propose to them. In your final exam, maybe you can propose that, okay, I think the best method to get money or doing this business is product sales or subscription revenue, then everything. Okay, product sales model, basically the common model used by selling product in unit. Yeah, you just sell your product. You have some specific target customers. Is a mass production, like for example, this Dell sell PC to one customer at a time, iPhone, everything. So those are, it's just like a normal business. Okay, when it comes, there's another model, they call it a subscription revenue model. You have to subscribe, very exclusive, like journals, for example. Only those who subscribe, only you are able to read all those journals. So it's very limited. Okay, so can we use this subscription revenue model in this particular company or not? What would be the advantages and disadvantages, for example? So you have to think about this thing. Okay, so just now is product, now is subscription, and this one is advertising. Why is it people have this blog? Why is it people want to have they are become the content provider in YouTube, for example? Why do they have their own channel? Because of the advertising. There's another ways for you to make money from the advertisement. If people are flocking into your blog, for example, then people, then maybe a company would like to advertise something in your blog, because they know there's you have a lot of followers and things like that. Okay, high traffic will indicate high demands of fees. Medium of revenue is by the sale of advertising space. Transaction fees, eBay, for example, instead of, this is the beauty about eBay, okay, or a gateway actually. Basically, you let's say for example, I want to buy something. I want to buy something from Hazel. Okay, so I will bank in my money through this gateway, eBay. Okay, then eBay will pay to Hazel. Hazel will post the thing to me. That's it. Right? If anything happen, like for example, the product is not good or it's different from what from what you've been advertised, everything, I will deal with Hazel, and Hazel will deal with me. Hazel will not deal, or me myself, I will not deal with eBay. Okay, so basically it's just between customer to customer, but then the eBay in the middle, and basically he gets a certain percentage from the transaction. It's much more better, right? But we have some security issues lah. You think, there's a lot of scam, even in eBay also. Okay, they have scam. Okay, but it's not as bad as in eBay in Malaysia. Yeah, I like eBay in UK. It's much more confident. I'm much more confident compared to in Malaysia. Right, another part of that. US also can. Right, it's right. Okay, but eBay Malaysia is not really confident. Okay. So that is the transaction fee. Then affiliate, you have to get a referral, references from other people in order for you um, to, to buy the things, or to join anything. Okay, so it's very exclusive. I give you an example. Okay, when I want to join the Royal Johor Golf and Country Club, RJCC, now is GGCC, Golf Club in somewhere near in RTM. It's a city center. Okay, if you want to join to become a member there, you need someone will have to be your referee. Meaning those members who already been a members there, okay, senior members, they will propose to the club that this guy, okay, he can become the member of this golf club. Okay, so he need references. Or like for example in HSBC, if you want to open up an account in HSBC, if you go there, if you go to the HSBC and then just tell him that, okay, I want to open up an account, the first question that they want to ask, who is your referee? introducer. Who is your introducer? So if you don't have an introducer, they won't let you open up an account in HSBC. So the introducer must someone who has been already, being a customer of HSBC for quite some time. They know who is this person, and then they recommend that, okay, fine, this guy. Like myself, I opened up because of my dad. He introduced me to HSBC. And when I was in UK, also the same thing. Right? My dad, I have to call my dad. Then the HSBC in UK, they call my dad and said that, who is this guy? And so my dad, tell him everything, and then only I can open up an account in HSBC in UK. So they need someone, need an introducer to introduce yourself. About cost, the cost model, okay. We want to look at this cost model as well. Total firm cost. We look at all this, fixed, variable, semi-variable, non-recurring. I think fixed and variable, you understand, variable cost, fixed cost, semi-variable cost, a non-recurring meaning is a one-time, okay, maybe a membership that you pay for lifetime, uh, that kind of thing. So it's non-recurring. Investor owner must be aware of type of cost that has the possibility to incur during the operation. So we go back to the cost-based method last time. In terms of when we do IP valuation, doing the business valuation, almost the same. Okay, we have two different things. It's different, no? IP and business valuation. So IP, basically the one that we discussed. Business valuation is different. It's not really that detailed, because of business, basically you can get from the financial statement, and then and all the subjective factors that you can include in your analysis. The branding, the locality, the environment, how many workers, the workers turnover, who is the management, all those things are what we call as subjective soft valuation. Profit model is then okay. This profit is basically you minus everything. Okay, we go with this harvest plan, i.e. the exit plan. So these are a few things. I suspect there are more than this, okay, but this is the one that normally um, uh, uh, companies will do when it comes to the harvest plan. So as a venture capitalist, you have to think about this thing. This type of business, this company, this kind of attitude, this kind of management team for this particular company, I think the best harvest plan will be this and this. That kind of thing, right? Capital. So one is the capital cow, cash cow. So basically, you continue doing the business, and you make money. Simple as that. Okay, and then we have this ESOP, employee stock ownership plan. Um, Basically, you turn uh, your income, your net income into stocks. Okay, so that then you can sell. Management buyout, basically the management itself, they buy their company from the owner, that will be the harvest plan. Management team is much more better, because they are the one who doing it, so they know the good, the bad, and the ugly about the business. So at one point, if they think that they can take over the company and from the owner, right? So when they do that, that's what we call as management buyout, right? Okay, this hostile takeover, mergers, acquisition, and strategic alliance is basically another type of harvest plan. I think merge, you understand, right? Merge, acquisition, you acquire a certain percentage of the business, okay, or you become a strategic alliance. Okay, and this is quite interesting, when it comes to strategic alliance. There's a one company selling small fish, managed to become a gigantic company. So basically, what they do is they all the suppliers, they become their strategic alliance, become their companies, their partners. So the value of the company increase threefold, and then they when they unlock the value, they put themselves in. They go for this IPO, and now they are already trading and selling small fish only. They're not talking about um, technology gadget and everything. It's just only a small fish. It's not even exotic fish. It's a common fish that you can find anywhere. Or in all near drains in kampung-kampung in you can find all these fish. Okay, but they manage because of the strategy. So as a venture capitalist or angel investors, we have to think about this thing. We will try to guide the company to go to which direction. Okay, all right. Sales, of course, definitely. You just sell your what call it your business. You just sell your business. This capital cow also is like, for example, a royalty. Okay, meaning your licensing. So to license to someone else, and then every now and then you will get certain portion amount of return from the operation. And the last one is the initial problem, which is this is the one that the best exit plan. The best exit plan, which is they have quite a number of advantage. Okay, first is that they have the ability to raise a huge amount of capital. Branding also, okay, improve corporate image. Okay, meaning if your company is listed in any stock exchange, that means your company is very strong, very stable. Okay, improve access to financing. Of course, banks will look at this. Or your successful, the company is successful already, is already listed. So when you go for any extra capital, you want to raise capital from the bank, you got no problem at all. Attracting and retaining key employees is so okay. So you can retain your core or your employees by offering ESOP, so that they also have some um, uh, ownership in the company. So when they have their ownership in that company, it means that they will do they will do a good job. Okay, they'll be more active, participating in the operation and everything. So they want to make sure that the company will stay afloat. So that sometimes the management also give their bonuses in terms of in the form of stocks or ESOP. Okay? So that the employee will feel something, they own the company. Using stock for acquisition. Yeah, you buy couple stocks, listing on the stock exchange. That means that you have some branding. Disadvantage is that dilution of founders ownership. Founder will not happy with this, because now other people's outside public now is part of your business. Even though you start from scratch. Okay? So that's what not many entrepreneur like this, but as investors they want this. Okay, and then the loss of control, privacy. And then from enterprise, when you go for private limited, you go for limited berhad status company. So there will be a lot of regulation, requirement and reporting necessary to do when you doing your business. Okay, all right.
Doctor, we don't have this like
Huh? You don't have this? Yang mana tak ada?
Yeah.
Which one you don't have? Both.
just not that one.
Only
Only.
the last one.
Yeah, the last one.
Okay, okay. I'll send it in our WhatsApp group later on.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
So is there anything else? I think we come to the end. We finished covering our topic for this semester. So I owe you one test only. Then after that we can wrap up our course.
And how about the presentation? You say the
Yeah. Okay, I haven't finished yet. Okay, I haven't finished. Okay, so we're gonna have this presentation. The way that we did some other lectures did is that they will ask the student to record the presentation and then submit to the lecturers. Okay, so or we can have a class and then we allocate few minutes for per group to do the presentation. So how's it gonna be? What do you think? There's two choice here. One, you record yourself among yourself. Okay, set up a link among yourself, do the presentation, and then submit to me. Or if you want to share the information with other friends, okay, and then we can have like for example like this, like a class. What do you say? Or maybe I give you time to discuss among yourself, and then you let me know. Is it okay? How's it gonna be?
Okay.
Macam mana?
Record, okay, record.
Record. Record, okay. Alright. So if that the case, tapi maknanya kawan-kawan lain, yang ni, this one, the attendance, this one is for yang ada 2 orang saja tu. Only tu, Jatila dengan Hazel, is it? Another one who?
一起
Oh, tu tak ada. She's not here, is it?
he is here.
Tak ada. So you want to record, okay? Fine. Then record, and then make sure you send only one email. Okay. I need someone who's the class rep. I need that person to email me. I need that person to collect all the presentation from you guys, and then only one email send it to me. I don't want to find each and every what do you call it, groups. This one for SBSD 3033. If anybody wants to slide in, okay, boleh tak? We will discuss in this. So that is that for today. So yang hari Rabu tak ada kelas. Kalau nak kelas, or is it hari Rabu ni you nak buat test? What do you think? Oh tak nak, ataupun test kita buat malam. We discuss inside the group lah. I tanya pun semua senyap je ni. Yeah?
Okay, doctor.
Alright, okay. So alright, okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you later lah. We decide when we're gonna have our. So we're gonna have 1 hour for exam, and then maybe one 1 hour for exam only. Right? Yang lain yang presentation, it will be you going to do it by yourself and then just submit to me. Okay? Alright guys, thank you very much. Stay safe ya. Jaga diri baik-baik. Alright, okay. Thank you, bye. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, doctor.
Don't
Okay.
send a slide.
Yeah, okay, I'll send it now.
Okay, thank you.